Well, welcome back to a new edition of Over the Top and, well, the results of naturally Money in the Bank. Hopefully, you caught up with our posts that we did from the matches and everything as well. And always leave likes and follow and comments in here for any of the matches that you happen to see, the ones that we do post on Twitter as well, and over the top 844. And we always want to thank you for swinging by. And hopefully, as things build up for us, you'll get a chance to be able to see how we progress here on this. But again, I just want to remind you that having been around for 40 years of WWE, WWF, along with ECW and WCW, and now AEW, it makes it very interesting. The only area that we don't get a chance to look at all the time is the Japan wrestling as much, but this is more for the area of us in the US and the UK and basically worldwide, because naturally the WWE does go over to Saudi Arabia. Okay, well, that's about it for Saudi Arabia. We're not going to give them any props or anything like that. Nothing against, that. We just, well, anyway, we'll just keep on moving along here. Okay. Great matches. Okay. We're going to go over the, basically our report card for this pay-per-view. And again, if you have missed our posts that we did through Twitter at 8 over the top 844, take a look and leave comments as well and on this whole thing. Let's get right to the report card here and our winners. Okay, the winners, the big winners, I should say, A matches all the way, were both the ladder match for the Money in the Bank, and naturally Sky and Priest. Now, you're going to doubt us, but take a look back at our videos. Take a look back. We predicted, actually, do not be surprised if Sky wins this. We also predicted, do not be surprised if Priest wins this. Who are the winners? Okay, Sky and Priest. Didn't know how it was going to go down, but it went down the way that we predicted it. It was pretty interesting, though, because both the men's and the women's matches were just fast-paced always, and almost anybody could have won it. I did like the women's a little bit better than the men's because, hey, they threw out the the handcuffs, which naturally we knew anything was able to be done. There was no disqualifications on these matches. The uniqueness was seeing that Sky used it to be able to have Bailey now also handcuffed. So much for friendships, so much for being a team person. She got the case, and congratulations to Sky. I think she is one of the up-and-coming ones for the WWE. Women's division, I do believe that that this is going to upset Bailey, but we'll see on that. We'll see for sure. Priest is in the same situation as we saw during the Rollins and Finn Balor match. Priest came out with the case and everything, not really to do too much, but maybe give a warning to either Rollins or Finn. Whoever wins, that's me. I'm next. Okay, you better be looking at you. Watch out for your backs. Anything is possible. I think, as we predicted, that Priest has been getting a push for titles as well as through the WWE, which I like because he has actually stepped up a notch in his matches. He's showing a better quickness. He's also showing better strength, as well as a bit of an edge, not so much for the faction side, but as a wrestler himself, and his abilities and skills that he does have for a big man. At times, I feel like I'm watching Roman Reigns' little brother there, just because of the way he presents himself, as well as the skill level for a big man on there. So is going to be taking over for being more of a leader for their faction, or is he going to break off? Those were the two winners. The women's, oh man, again, back for that ladder match, they were laying it on the line a little bit more than the men's, but both of them were awesome. The women definitely used the ladders more, which is a rarity for the men not to use it as much as the women did. So this was really something that I really liked, was that the women threw those ladders out there and they were not afraid to use them. The men's match was a good match as well. Again, like I said, almost anybody could have won it, but the thing was that, as we saw, it pretty much was a level playing field, in the sense that there was really no team member on any of them. So it was pretty much 1-to-1, where it came out in the women's. You had two team members that you were possibly had a chance, but only Sky and Bailey were really using it and doing as much as far as team. But that also broke down eventually down into an individual, and as we saw, Sky wins, handcuffing Bailey. So where do they go from here? The ones that did compete and didn't wind up, we'll find out as well on that. And naturally, we have now the Usos versus Reigns and Solo tag match. That was a winner. Again, another A match and everything. That went, that was awesome. If you didn't see it, we posted quite a bit of the action in there, and a move that Roman Reigns used against a certain person to be able to get out of a pinning situation was used on Roman. Pretty awesome. You'll see it. But if you didn't see it, we showed it, and we'll see if you caught it. Leave a comment on that as well, if you picked it up the first time, or if you had to go back and go, what? Did we miss that? But yes, the Usos started out of the gate slow. Reigns and Solo dominated the middle part after they did their little huddle with Paul E. Heyman. Reigns came out and they started taking over. But as we saw, once Solo missed and Reigns was kind of like stuck, I guess, in the ring by himself, naturally the Usos started taking over, and the results were surprising, actually, in the way that it happened, and for the win. So, what does that mean? Reigns has not been pinned in over 3 years, approximately 3 years. Also, at the same time, Solo is his right-hand man, but Solo can't get mad at Reigns, and Reigns can't get mad at Solo, because each of them kind of lost out on it in a certain way. Solo took himself out of the play, so now Reigns had no backup, and Reigns took himself out of the play because, hey, he taught a move that was used against him. So, congratulations to the Usos. Now, does this mean that they are back in play for the tag team matches? Well, titles, I should say, against Zayn and KO, or is Imperium still the main one for it? We did see on Friday it wasn't going to be a match on Saturday for the tag titles. It got moved to Friday on SmackDown against, I'll call them the Pretty Boys because that's all they are. They really didn't do too much in the title match, but if you really want to know their name, they're pretty deadly. They weren't deadly on Friday, that's for sure. KO and Sammy came up with the victory. The only thing that we'll be watching is KO's leg real, or is it KO's leg just part of the work for that match there? We'll find out a little bit tomorrow on Monday Night Raw for that. To be found out. Hopefully it is more of a work or not a serious type of injury, if it is a true injury, and they'll be able to defend their titles. Otherwise, some people have been throwing out there that if it is a real injury, that they have to give up the titles. But are they able to do what some have done, and that is bring in somebody else to take over while the other person is actually healing? We'll find out. Okay? Like you and me, I don't know which way this is because they didn't really show us anything. They were up in the stands in the upper deck area, enjoying the show, as they say, and got interviewed, and they didn't really bring it up or anything like that for his legs, so we didn't get really much of anything. The third day was Rollins versus Finn. Finn came out like a storm. Finn came out like the demon, even though he didn't have the look and everything. He came out there and took the play. There's a video that we posted, and at the beginning of this little part of the clip, man, Finn kicks, does a double drop kick to Rollins that, wow, I don't know if Rollins actually did great on the push off, or if Finn actually really just, man, if you look at it, and I've looked at it several times and everything, to me it looked like he just nailed him into that post and everything. And Rollins did a good job to recover from that. It was back and forth, very much so. Either one of them could have won it. Finn was dominating Rollins quite a bit in this match. It nailed 2 coups de grace outside the ring, unfortunately, instead of inside the ring for Finn. So that doesn't mean anything if Rollins couldn't get back in. Finn doesn't win the title on a countout. The interesting part was during this match was, again, with Priest having just won the Money in the Bank, he came out there and was just kind of staring, pretty much saying, hey, whoever wins, you better watch your back, I feel, type of look and everything. But it really distracted Finn, even though maybe Priest was not trying to do it intentionally, but we'll find out pretty much either Monday or Friday on this, because it pretty much allowed Rollins to turn the match around, and he gave him the stop to get the win. But it was a great match. Again, that was an A. We'll see what Priest has to say on this now that he's got the title. We'll actually have to see what their faction will be doing, because I'll go into the next one here. The C will give a grade for Gunther and Riddle. It was a good match until Gunther just kept on going after the ankle. Riddle just eventually had to give up and everything, tapped out, and Gunther wins the match. It was a good match in the sense that Riddle was hanging in there, but it was just not a fair match because Imperium had been working over that ankle and everything, so there's no way Riddle was going to win that match going in. whether he should have wear more of a brace on that ankle and everything, would that have helped? Who knows? He taped it up. But Gunther had no problem working on the tape and taking off some of the protection. That would have helped Riddle, but it was a C match just because of Riddle more than Gunther, in our opinion, because Riddle managed to hang in there as long as he did. It could have been a much quicker match. Our B matches were the Rodriguez and Liv Morgan versus Baszler and Ronda, as well as this one really a match because Cena did a great job, got a great pop for letting London, basically, I guess is the best way to put it. Although I guess you could say anywhere in the UK area, whether it is in Ireland or in the UK, for WrestleMania, I believe, just like he does, make it so. I think it would be great. Particularly London deserves it. 20 years before they've seen their latest pay-per-view and everything. London did a great job. The fans were awesome. So I give you guys props. In the UK, definitely WWE is alive and well in the UK fan base. I would love to see it, WrestleMania there, and you could put it in Wembley Stadium. There you go. There's the location right there. And then Cena, basically gave Waller a how do you do at the end, and you can't see me, basically, to end the night for his promo on WrestleMania. Now, the women's tag team was definitely, Rodriguez and Morgan were definitely struggling in this. Baszler and Ronda were dominating. Shocker. Should I tell you the ending? Should I let you go? I'm going to let you go and see it on this one, okay? I'll just say it was a shocker. It was totally unexpected. Definitely a B match only because of the ending. Not because of the dominating from Baszler and Ronda and because Rodriguez and Liv were doing anything. Liv was struggling out there, having not been in a match for a while. Rodriguez was trying to hold her own and everything, but Baszler and Ronda definitely were dominating this match. Go and see it on our Over the Top 844 in Twitter, and you will see what we are talking about. It is a shocker, unexpected. We didn't expect it, but let me throw it in this way. There's talk that Ronda was going to go back to UFC. UFC has been going after very strong to come back, so maybe this is the reason why. We'll find out for sure on Monday, and that's where we are. That is our grades for the Money in the Bank and everything. Again, be leaving. Wait a minute. I do want to throw this in because we did have a great back and forth on this. And we'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Our question was out to the WWE nation was, which faction of the Four Horsemen was the best one? What faction of the Four Horsemen was the best one? We've seen the original as well as with Wyndham, and then somebody threw out there with Roma in there. The faction was with the WWE, the WWF, and through the WCW for a little bit time as well. So let us know which faction, and believe it or not, Sting was in it with Luger as well in the Four Horsemen as members. So give us your thoughts, ideas. Don't forget to follow, and we'll see you on the next one, okay?